Thank you very much for joining us here on Pulse on the Joy News channel. Now, we will be delving into some boxing and then we'll do some football later on with developments on the stage of the Confederation of African Football. A very big storm raging through the administrative corridors of CAF. But for now, let's talk boxing. And there's a new strategy for developing juvenile boxing. And of course, there's a competitive platform that has been created by Alute Kofi Boxing Promotions. Of course, this is something that happens every Sunday at the City Engineers Center in Accra. But now it's taking a different twist. We'll be having the 2019 Graphic Sports Boxing Festival. And here with me to discuss all of this is Herbert Nikpaku Alute Kofi. He's the promoter for Alute Kofi Boxing, and of course he's also an executive member of the Ghana Boxing Authority. Now, Charles Quarte is a coach of the National Junior Boxing Team. The two are firmly involved in this activity. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Coach, thank you very much. Nii, thank you very much for joining us. Now, over the period, we've seen consistent, fight days or fight tournaments happen, on the stage of Alute Kofi Boxing. Now, why are we channeling it into a boxing festival under the Graphics brand?
There is a very interesting thing that happened. I met a very interesting man called Dr. Macaulay, and he has a similar question. Why do we do boxing in the community and leave it there when we have the whole nation to cater for? And I've spoken to a few other people, and fortunately the same Dr. Macaulay, who's McDan, who runs McDan Group, spoke to Graphic, and just like you, they also thought it should go national. And you not have been talking about this with me for a long time. And so now we're going national. We're moving boxing and riding on the back of traditional festivals. So we're just moving from one traditional festival to another. And the way it's working for us is that you have several traditional festivals in Ghana, and they're very colorful. So you would always have the highlight, which would be a Derba, mostly on a Saturday. So every Friday preceding a Saturday, there will be good boxing for boxing lovers who go to that community in Ghana, and it will be throughout the whole country, promoting boxing throughout the country.
That's beautiful. We'll be talking about which specific festival we're throwing the focus on, but let me take the thoughts of Coach Charles Quarte. Coach, you have been at the forefront of it, or you are at the grassroots stage, picking up these boys and training them. We've been to Tamale, we've been to different places. Yeah. Tell me about the challenges that you, the coaches, have. What are the major challenges that you're facing in wanting to bring these talents together and train them properly?
Yeah, first of all, I'll say the challenges we have, like we don't have training equipment for the boys.
I see.
And that one is killing us.
So for you, for instance, you are an established coach when it comes to juvenile boxing.
Yes, sir.
So what do you have and what don't you have at the Charles Quarte gym?
At the Charles Quarte Boxing Foundation, I have a boxing ring, boxing punching bags and some gloves and stuff, but it's not that good for the boys, and we need help from the authority. Or right now it's like Mr. Alute Kofi always help us with boxing gloves and boxing punching bags and some of the things, but we need more. We need sponsors to help the boys, because some of the boys, these boys are street boys, and we bring them from the community, and we help them to grow. But like these the boys over there, some of them.
So how old are these ones?
They're before 6.
Yeah, I think
5 years old.
Yes.
Wow.
5 and 6. 5 and 6. The one over here is 6, and one is 5.
The one in the white trunks is 5, and the one in the black trunks is 6.
Interesting. Okay.
So some of them, their parents are not there.
I see.
They leave the boys. When these boys, we pick them from the neighborhood and we start training them. And when we start training them, you don't see their parents anymore, and they will sleep at the gym, because I have some place over there for them to sleep.
I see.
And you give them money to school, and you take care of everything. And so we need people like Mr. Alute Kofi, and like you said, we went to Tamale with McDan. We need people to come and help the sports, because the sport is going down. with this kind of platform, every Saturday we've been doing that at the how do you call it? City engineers. Is helping the boys, because if you train these boys and they are not fighting, it's like, I don't know what, you don't know what you are doing.
Exactly.
So you need a platform for them all the time, every Saturday, and they will come and showcase what they have. And some of them right now, we start this thing at the how do you call it, Bukom Boxing Arena, in the front of the arena. And some of them have joined the national team now.
I see.
Some of them joined how do you call it, Tiger, Wasiru Mohammed. He used to be in the Jatabi. He used to be in the junior team, and I think 4 of the boys right now they moved to professional, and it's helping them.
Interesting stuff here, because only 2 weeks ago, Wasiru Mohammed, aka Jatabi, was here in the studio talking ahead of his WBO Global Super Bantamweight title right here in the studio. He is a product of this system that has been created by Alute Kofi Memorial Boxing. Now, let's talk about the festivals and which of them will start off this wonderful idea.
Right. We're starting off with 2nd of August.
Okay.
At Asafo Tufiami in Ada. And so we'll be in Big Ada the evening of the 2nd of August. And it's going to be a Friday evening, Friday night boxing. There'll be 2 debutants. Well, actually 4 debutants. These are 4 young men who are coming from amateur into pro. And so there'll be 2 6-rounders for them to enter pro. We think it's historic, you know. And then there would be at least a total of 15 bouts throughout the night. So apart from their 2 bouts for the 4 of them, there's going to be another 13 bouts of both cadets and amateurs.
Wow, interesting stuff there. Okay, so it means that this will be a regular feature on the calendar for all, as many as possible. I mean,
major festivals. That's right. So after we finish the 2nd of August, we're going to do the Homo Festival.
Wow.
We'll do the Twins Festival of Gamashi that night.
Okay.
That will be the 16th of August, and then we'll have that in front of the place where we have our No, we'll have it in front of the city engineers. It'll be well laid out and well done, nicely. And then from there we're going to Afashe in Cape Coast, where your school is.
I see.
Or you know your school was.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, I see.
And so it's going to be big.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. We'll do some more boxing here on Pulse Sport, but let's do a bit of football and then wrap up finally with thoughts from our friends from Juvenile Boxing. Now, we picked up earlier today that the Nigerian FA president, Amaju Pinnick, who's also first vice president of the Confederation of African Football, has been removed. Now, 24 hours prior to that, we took a report from ground in CAF from our tournament correspondents. I'm talking about Gary Al Smith and George Addo Jr. about the shake-up and the possibility that we could see a bigger storm rage through the corridors of CAF. Now, this comes on the back of a decision by the executive committee to have FIFA General Secretary Fatima Samura take over as a coordinator for CAF in administering them and ensuring good governance. Let's go over on the phone line to Gary Al Smith. He's there in Cairo, and he'll be taking us more into this. Gary, thank you very much for joining us. I would want to call you a soothsayer because 2 nights ago when we were having a conversation about the decisions that have been taken by the executive committee, you guys predicted that there was something coming up, something rather stormy and rather weighty coming up. And that's exactly what has happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are things that you pick up when you are on the ground. And so, it was something that a few of the journalists picked up and sort of it started gaining momentum and traction about 3 days ago. However, like you said, it's been a whirlwind of political activity at the Confederation of African Football because essentially blocks are aligning and allegiances are being made for the long term. Fatma Samura's coming into Africa means that certain leaders will not or have not agreed with that decision, and so they've had to be quietly pushed out. One of them is Amaju Pinnick of Nigeria, who obviously is not a favorite at the moment because he doesn't seem to be in agreement with the fact that Fatima Samura is coming to be the High Commissioner of FIFA in Africa, and so he has been he has been shown the door. In his place is Constant Mari, the boss of the Democratic Republic of Congo, who becomes the first vice president. Fauzi Lekja, who has been a long-time favorite of Ahmad and a key ally of the Malagasy, and he becomes the second vice president of CAF as well. And then Tani Jordan, who has been a pariah for a very, very long time. He's been an outcast in CAF for a very, very long time. Finally gets something weighty as the third vice president. What this means, Nathaniel, is that for the first time in a very, very long time, West Africa has no seat at the top table of CAF.
Interesting stuff there. Now, with all of this, where do you see Amaju Pinnick going in terms of relevance within international football? Of course, he is still president of the Nigerian FA, but going forward, what then happens to his international football administrative career?
Well, what it is that he's still a member of the CAF Executive Committee. That is, he's still a member of the CAF Exco. He has just been taken from the high office of, the first vice president, and that's it. So for him, it can be strategic because, you see, what is happening in CAF is that there's so much bad news around CAF at the moment that this may be a blessing in disguise for him. Maybe time will tell. He's part of the ESCO. He will take part in decision making, but he has the good fortune, if you like, of having the back seat, and he will not take all the flack and will not have to defend every single decision that will be taken by the CAF Executive Committee.
Interesting stuff. And finally, Gary, you also mentioned that the trouble may not necessarily be over for CAF President Ahmad. What then happens to him as well? There were allegations of corruption. He got arrested in France. There are other allegations that have been made. What's happening on that score as well?
If I heard you clearly asking about Ahmad and the fact that the troubles are not over, well, yeah. Whatever allegations are coming up against him are still pending. He's still being investigated by FIFA for all those allegations. I mean, there's one of apparently a sexual harassment nature. There's also one of financial malfeasance. But you get the sense that with Gianni Infantino being his ally, the fact that Fatma Samura has been brought to sort of take care of CAF will be a quiet way of cleaning up all the mess that Ahmad has been with. And again, time will tell how all this politics will play out.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. We sure are going to be doing some more as we go along. Thank you. Gary Alsmith is one of our two correspondents there in Cairo, Egypt, as we get ourselves ready for a big wrap-up of the Africa Cup of Nations tomorrow between Senegal and Algeria. Back to the studio to wrap up on a pugilistic note. Gentlemen, we're ready and good to go. Dates and time for the Graphic Boxing Festival.
First one is on 2nd of August, Asafo Tufiami.
In Adan.
In Adan.
Okay.
And second one is on the 16th of August in Jamestown.
Okay, great. How many fights are we expecting on the first fight night?
15 fights.
15 fights. Wow, interesting. So for the people of Adan, for all of the revelers who go, for waterfront relaxation and all of that, there is a new twist. The upcoming festival is going to have a new twist, and that's boxing. Alote Kofi Memorial Boxing is bringing us 15 juvenile fights to start off what is the Alote Kofi Graphic Boxing Festival. Nice. It surely is going to be a very, very interesting one. There's more to come on this particular one, but that's it for sport here on Pulse. You keep it here on the JoyNews channel. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.